What's up, quadcopter fans? HiringADrone.com. Today I'm going to be doing an installation of some prop guards on the V303 Seeker. These are some prop guards that I did purchase off Amazon. Came with the props on here, so these are DJI wannabe props that do specifically fit the V303 Seeker. I didn't get so lucky on the first pair that I ordered. I couldn't get them on, but these work perfectly. They were able to fit in. I haven't taken them for a test flight, but we will shortly here soon. So one thing I did have is that one time I put the props on incorrectly, and what that actually did is it caused the quadcopter to flip over. Additionally, I put this quadcopter in my trunk or in my car whenever I'm going to go fly. If it does slide around or bump up against anything, without the prop guards on here, there's a better chance that they might get damaged, bent, or something could happen to the motor. So I'm going to go ahead and install these on here. They came with it for free. Better to be safe than sorry whenever it comes to the quadcopter. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over so we can get a look at it. But basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be removing these two screws right here, and then the prop guard will fit in and should align with those screw holes. And then it came with some extremely long screws, hex screws, that will be screwing in here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my hex screwdriver out. That'll be needed in order for us to be able to do this. Alright, so I do have the hex screwdriver. If you haven't purchased one of these are a good buy. Fairly cheap on Amazon, especially if you have a V303 Seeker or XK Detect or anything a little bit bigger that uses hex screws. So I'll just make sure that I have the correct size here. Alright, so I have the correct size, and like I said, we have some longer screws here. Whenever you're going to be working on the quadcopter and turning it upside down, you don't want your battery in there. If you've read about the quadcopter and how it functions, it never says to turn this thing upside down with the battery installed. So you'll notice right away a big difference in the size of screws. It does look like there's been some sort of Loctite on there installed on these screws here. So that might be something to consider for myself moving forward in the future whenever I get my hands on some. So then that way I can put these screws in here. Won't have to worry about any type of vibration. This one doesn't look like it has any on there. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this one on here just as a demonstration. Then we'll go ahead and speed the video up until I've completed the install, and then we'll take a look at it and see how it functions. Obviously this isn't anything drastic or major, so if I don't like the way it feels and don't like the way it looks, I can always take it off and remove it since it is not permanent. But the main thing is just making sure that these screws get into the motor, and they're extremely tight so there's no chance of unwanted vibration or the motor coming loose during the flight. And if you haven't picked up an extra screw set for your V303 Seeker, definitely something well worth getting. You can get them fairly cheap online. Comes with all your basic screws that you'll need for your quadcopter. And this is what it looks like with one of them installed. Now there's some rope that comes with it that I guess you can tie from each prop guard to prop guard just to make it a little bit more stable. So not necessarily something that I'm planning on doing myself, but just to give you a better look, when you look at here, hex screws are screwed in there, motor is secure. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off the remaining 3, and we'll cut back to it once everything's been done. Alright, so we have all 4 prop guards installed. Like I said, there's some string that you can tie from prop guard to prop guard. Guess firming them up a little bit, possibly reduce any type of wind. You know, this isn't, you know, a fast maneuvering quadcopter by any means. I hope these don't act as like a wind sail. If they do, you know, catch some wind. And I hope in this scenario, if this thing does fall over, or, you know, there is some sort of crash, it doesn't, you know, just rip this motor out or damage the motors in any way. But overall, great deal. You know, props and prop guards. You know, nice addition to this. So, you know, in case I do have a scenario where this flips over like this, you got a bad landing, you know, we're going to be somewhat protected. And, you know, the final thing that I was talking about is it does come with some string here. You know, you can feed it through here if you'd like. You can actually go all the way around. You don't have to cut it, but basically you just, you know, go through these holes here, and then it has, you know, these little hooks inside that allow you to be able to go all the way around, tie it, firming these up. You know, the more firm you can make them, the better off you are. So then that way it'll reduce the amount of vibration. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to feed mine through here. So then that way, you know, I have the least likelihood or chance of getting vibration that will ultimately affect the shot. Now I've ensured that each one of them is around the claw, these little claws here, and what I'll do is I'll make it tighter, and I'll put a piece of heat shrink on here, so then that way when I tie it I can heat shrink it, and you know, hopefully not have any issues, so then that way it won't come undone, it'll stay tight. But for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and tie this up. Just so nothing comes undone. In the meantime, while I get some heat shrink and make sure that this thing is extremely tight. So hopefully that reduces any type of vibration. Doesn't look like it's that great, or it's going to make that big of a difference. I might need to go in there and tape right underneath these little spurs here that's holding the string, so then that way you get a nice tight fit. And you know, this will also protect the quadcopter too, in case anything like a tree or something like that comes in the way and tries to hit it. So if this video helped you out in any way, definitely leave a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos, flight reviews, flight videos here in the future.